Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, a little chilly this morning. Got the coffee going, you bet. It's April 2nd, 2017. The lunatic in the mountain. Boy, he got me yesterday. He got me good yesterday. If you didn't catch the article on foreclosurepedia.org, that's foreclosurepedia.org. Of course, that is the website for up-to-the-minute fraud information in the property preservation industry. Article was off the hook. I fell on the floor when I figured it out. I would laugh so hard, but he got me. He got me good. I'll tell you that. A couple things have popped up over on LinkedIn right now. They're talking about safety. And I made a comment in the thread, and I think it's very important. Of course, today is Sunday. It's the weekly wrap-up. We're going to just a short little podcast this morning, talk about a couple things here. But safety, just keep this in mind. If you're an employer, when you start looking at safety, you want to look at it in a manner of, how am I going to protect my company? If you're an employee, you want to look at it as, how am I going to protect me so I can go home and hug my kid tonight? How am I going to protect me so I can put food on the table next week? Always remember that, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to worksite safety. And I've been involved since 1985 on job sites. I've yet to have a major accident on a job site, something I'm very, very, very proud of. With Alladay LLC, for the 10 years that we were out in Silver Springs, we had one injury, one workplace injury, and it was a guy wasn't paying attention and he slipped and rolled his ankle on something. Myself as a boss, I was always very cognizant of the fact that that's not good. This isn't good. If we went in and there was, I'll give you an example. When we go inspect a property, if there was a lot of rodent feces, rat shit, if you will. I would always make sure my guys had a respirator on, some kind of breather, protect their lungs from that hantavirus stuff. You have to know that kind of stuff. If they were handling biohazard type stuff, I always made sure they had the right gloves, personal protection equipment, PPE they call that. If you're working by the roads, make sure they got some kind of vest on that has a reflector on it. So, orange vest, even the orange vest is one of them. As an employer, it is your responsibility to make sure your employees have the proper safety equipment. That includes safety harnesses if they're roofers. I'm a glazer. I've been flying in the air for years. I've never had an accident. I've always, myself, I prefer the harness versus the belt. I was never so glad when OSHA flipped that and said, okay, no more belts. The truth is the belts were kind of a hazard up in the air. Most people would put the lanyard on and hook it in the front where their belt buckle went. And if they fell out, it would snap their back. And boy, I'll tell you what, with a broken back like I have right now, that hurts, ladies and gentlemen. It really does hurt. I actually know a guy that is in a wheelchair still to this day. So when I saw that happen, I immediately started putting it in the back, just, in case I fell out the lift. But always remember, as an employer, it is your responsibility to make sure the work site is a safe place to work. It is your responsibility to make sure your employees got that sunshine coming up. Oh, it feels good too. But it's your responsibility to make sure your employees have a safe environment to work in. It's, and as an employee, you need to be cognizant. Am I safe? Can I do this safe? And I give you an example. Years ago, I get a phone call. My boss comes out. This is back in the late 70s. My boss came out and said, your brother's in the hospital. He cut his arm off. Like, what? And I go flying to the hospital. He didn't cut his arm off. It was a finger. But when I came back, I started looking around the shop, and I said, every now and then we, do a little hooter. We drink a beer at lunch or something. We come in and we start working with these saws. We're cutting metal. Shavings are flying everywhere. I went into my boss and said, hey, boss, I said, you know what? We got to have some safety classes, man. Can I get some, can I run? And he goes, why are you so safety conscious right now? I said, well, every now and then I'm, kind of mess around. My brother doesn't. He goes, what do you mean? I go, well, at lunch I'll have a beer or something, sometimes have a beer, every now and then we might, burn a hooter now and then at the last break of the day or something. I said, the fact is my brother he don't do that kind of stuff. When he's on the time clock, he just doesn't do it. That's just not the way he is. I say, he cut his finger off. I'm out there using saws, man. That stuff flies in my eye. I don't get an eye back. Ever since then, I turned the saw on, ladies and gentlemen. I got something covering these puppies. To this day, I still got pretty good eyeballs. So always remember, protect yourself. And if you're an employer, you're not protecting just your employees from injury. You're protecting a whole bunch of stuff. You're protecting your business, your insurance rates, your premium, all that kind of stuff. You just be cognizant of it. That's the tip of the day, if you will. If you're an employer, make sure your employees have a safe environment to work in. If you're an employee, make sure you're working safe so you and your fellow employee that's working next to you get to go home that day and you're not in the hospital. It's not a tough thing to do. Workplace safety is very vital. Some guy made a comment about, guys tell me they hate wearing the harnesses because they're tripping over the lanyard. So, well, if they're tripping over something, they're not tied off properly because there's absolutely no reason. The reason you tie off is so you don't fall off. And if you're going to tie off and trip off, you've done something incorrect. Make sure you've got everything together. Of course, this week coming up here, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to look at something. I'm going to try to pull something up here. If I'm not mistaken, I got a little watch list warning. Another order mill thief. Yes. Hang on here. Let me see here. Who is this? Encore Preservation. Apparently they're doing MCS work that MCS takes 25% of, and then Encore takes 45%. A trip charge, you get like $11.25. A grass cut, $18.25. Are you freaking crazy? Whoever is working for that company, I'm sorry, you're stupid. You really are. You need to back your Jeep up, and you need to... That's a bad company, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't know these people at Encore Preservation. But Brett Douglas down there at Team Ironclad, I guess he think they're hiring. I might even return to Preservation for that kind of money. 65% off invoice. So awesome. How you doing, Brett? Yeah, you don't want to go to work that bad, do you? But I just had to share that with y'all. I got a kick out of that. That was kind of funny. Encore Preservation, they get the Bonehead Award. They make the watch list this week. Ladies and gentlemen, stop working with those companies. There's no reason for you to be working with Encore Preservation when you can be working with MCS. Not that I care for MCS. As I said in the last podcast, they're next on the chopping block. Before I get out of here today, things are a little rough. If you can help out with donations on the website, please hit the donate button over there. I don't do anything through YouTube because of the censorship going on, and they're I'm pretty controversial sometimes. I'm not even going to get involved. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to attempt it. If you can help us out, ladies and gentlemen, go to the website. Things are a little tight. We do have some stuff coming up here. If anybody does do a substantial donation, contact me before you do it. I will make arrangements to get you some kind of service or something from Alladay LLC. Maybe you need a little bit of help figuring out a spreadsheet or something. Let me know. It's not a big deal. Coming up this week, GMO news. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have some stuff going on in the GMO front, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about radio development of shows. I have a lot of people asking questions right now. We do have some. I've been talking to the radio station, America Matters Media. Of course, I'm a correspondent. I'll be going back on the air tomorrow morning for a bit. It is opening day of baseball here. Today is the happiest day of the year for all baseball fans. Every single one of us, we are all in first place. Every single one of us all have that optimism, and we are all happy. We are all jazzed, as you can tell. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Wilson's right here with me. We're all going to the World Series. Every one of us baseball fans, our team is going to the World Series. It's Happy Optimism Day. I don't care what you call it. It's opening day in baseball. The day where you get to smell that freshly mowed grass, hear that beer vendor in the background. Bear here. He got that warm beer and a kind of lukewarm, greasy hot dog for you. But there ain't nothing like it sitting in the ballpark with that hot dog and that warm beer, watching your favorite baseball team. Got your favorite girl next to you. That's a great day, man. That's a great day. It really is. But let's talk radio for just a minute. If you would like to be a sponsor, or if you would be interested in being a sponsor, whether you're on the GMO front or the preservation issue or in the mortgage field service industry, a sponsor would pay a substantial amount of money, obviously, because you are sponsoring the show. However, in the 1 hour show, you would get a 12-minute segment that you would be a guest on the show, talk about your company, what direction you're going. I mean, I would think somebody, the owner of MCS, for example, or maybe Brian Mingham over there with NRES, somebody like that, or even maybe Brett Douglas, somebody who owns a company that looking for a little advertisement, looking to push stuff out a little bit, maybe IFAS, the International Association Field Service Technicians. Any kind of organization that you have, you'd like to sponsor a show, hey, let us know. Touch base with me. If you'd be interested in advertising, America Matter Media has some awesome off the hook. I mean, unbelievable pricing for like 30-second and 1 minute advertising time slots where you got 5-6 of them a day, a few advertising spots a day. Remember, America Matter Media is a worldwide radio network. It's part of the Lotus network of radio stations and media outlets, communication outlets. Same with the GMO. You have a nursery, you have whatever, if you're organic, you're an organic association. You would get a 12-minute segment every week to talk about what's going on. And this is what I want to do in preservation, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to get into banging companies. I don't want to get into banging individuals. What I would like to do with the preservation industry is let's develop a show that brings you facts, that brings you information, that brings you updated technology information and ways to work with different people and perhaps offer solutions to problems in the industry. As you know, I have been offering solutions for years. I know a couple other people have. They fall on deaf ears because of a certain organization in the industry, and I believe that is about to change, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't see what's going on in preservation from one side of the industry being sustainable any longer. Not anymore. It's going to get crazy in the industry, but it's going to be a lot of fun going down the road, developing new adventures, if you will. The International Association Field Service Technicians. We're still in the middle of the interview process. Hopefully, we'll have something out in the next few days on that, and I will. I'll be in touch with those people again today. Now, for the GMO, it's like I said, you got a nursery. Maybe you just want advertising for your company, wherever it is. American Matter Media is nationwide. It is also international. We have a very big presence in the Northern Nevada, Northern California area, obviously, because that's where the towers are and that's where the station is located. But our shows, every single show, and they repeat. You have a 12-hour time slot from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Let's say we're on at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll be on again at 9 o'clock at night. So you get a double plug during the day. If you can't catch a show in the morning, you can catch a show at night. It's one of those kind of things. Obviously, the one from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that's a tape delay. It's a tape show, and it's a recording. In addition, everything on American Matter Media, they have a archive of it turns into a podcast. So everything on American Matter Media is archived, so you can go back in and get the show. Let's say you were on a show April 17th, and December comes around and it comes up in a conversation. You can go back in and get that show that you were on and say, hey, look, here it is right here. So I guess they call that a link, or whatever it is, site. Yeah, do you have a site for that and a link that I can go look at it? It's there. So once again, American Matter Media, it has a great following. It's a call-in talk radio show format, and that is, it's good because you can exchange ideas and share a lot. That is what's going on today, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we're going to have a lot more of this sunshine because I got to go out and do a couple planter beds. I have some pictures of that going out on the G+. In a little while here, I'll have a couple YouTube podcasts for the planters. And I also got a picnic table that you guys have all seen Bunny in the pictures with me. Bunny decided she needed something to scratch on, and she started doing all that kind of stuff. And guess what? She trashed our picnic table up here at the fabulous Wainema Ranch. So we got to fix a picnic table so people got something to sit down and eat on, and Bunny got something to come scratch on. I don't know that I can make it bunny proof, but I'm going to do my darndest to give it a good shot there. Before I get out of here, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but I was asked in an email to what I view as participating in a treasonous type of activity. I penned an article yesterday. It's gone out to a lot of places. It's on the website. Committing treason, not going to do it, is what I said. That's the name of the article. And I ask you just to look at it and make your own decision, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of madness going on in the political arena right now. And I think it's a lot of hyperbole, a lot of nonsense. It really is childish what's going on. It's like 2 5-year-olds in the sandbox and, I'm going to take my shovel and go home. Of course, I tagged the parody song in there too. I got friends in low places and the song is, I got friends in safe places. If you ain't here, you must be a racist. I don't care for what I hear and what I see right now. It's not good. It's not conducive for the country as a whole. And this is all I'm going to say about this. We are Americans. We have the greatest country in any universe. We have liberties that people get killed for expressing in other countries. Think about that when you want to fight with somebody over what they're saying and call them a racist because you don't like what they said. No, or you just don't like the person. That's insane, ladies and gentlemen. That's insane. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary, and you can't be productive. And this is what the problem is in property preservation. That's why I brought this up. What's going on in our political arena is the same thing going on in preservation, ladies and gentlemen, and that GMO industry. One side is so stuck on stupid that labor's bad anti-GMO is bad, this is bad, but nobody wants to sit down at the table and have a positive conversation about what is going on. And that's what needs to be done. We need to sit down at the table. We need to have a positive conversation of what's going on and create solutions going forward. I hope you're having a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all have a great day. Let's all be safe out there.